Hello there. Um, it's been a while. Today we are going to do a analysis of how long it'll take to accrue something. So you might do this in your, real life with a budget. You might do this budgeting, either cash or like PTO. Today, it's video games with Excel. We're going to do shop titans. Again, we're doing how long will it take you to tighten every single line. So, in case you're not familiar with tightening, if you go to Ascensions, if you get 51 Ascension stars in any line, you get extra surcharge value to all items. It's the highest Ascension reward in the game. Hopefully, there's going to be an update pretty soon. Hopefully, that doesn't invalidate what I'm about to talk about. But uh, you need 51 stars in almost every line in order to get that. It's a little different for some, like the wand only needs 35, but we'll cover all that. So that's a lot of Ascension shards. But how many? Well, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to assume, spoiler alert, this is going to take a long time. Not the project, but getting that many Ascension shards is going to take a long time. So I'm assuming you're going to do this as cheaply as possible, even though it might be kind of inefficient. It's King's Capri right now, and what I would recommend is you go into King's Capri and you get these cheap, or not these cheap, these low level, like tier 3s, tier 4s, up to tier 6s, sometimes tier 7s, which you'll see more as we go through this, because that's going to let you ascend those for cheaper. Because when you go to ascend, uh, oops, I'm in the wrong thing, right? These level 1s cost, well, they cost 5. I've already ascended that line, so it's a bad example. I need a line I haven't ascended. Okay, right. So, right, these cost 5 Ascension shards, and then you get up to like 6. These cost 25, and you don't want to do any 10s or 11s. Look at this 11. It takes 60 shards. So instead of hurrying, which I did originally, I kind of hurried. You see I got some 10s ascended here. I think I have some 11s in other lines. You want to just take your time. You want to wait for King's Capri every month. You want to get these low tier blueprints, and we're going to get this for as few Ascension shards as possible. So you need 17 blueprints to get the 51 stars. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in, playshoptitans.com. You can see all the blueprints, and I'm just going to go through. I'm not going to do it all. I'll do a little time skip here, but I'm just going to write down all the first 17 blueprints. Sweet hander, cutlass, espada, hero's sword, chocolicious blade. I bet that's really effective in combat. Serrated quinquedia, regal blade, celestial blade. That's 13. Damocles, the Lux Macuhatl. Spelled that wrong, but I'm not worrying about it. Mithril Edge, Seafarer Blade. Now, there's multiple 9s here, so it doesn't matter which of the ones you did. I just put Seafarer Blade, but if you do Gentleman's Blade instead, that doesn't matter. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tier of each of those. That's important to figure out the Ascension shards. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9. So I've got all these here. So in order to ascend this sword line, this is the cheapest it could be, right? You could spend more if you do some 10s or 11s. I would recommend not doing that. So you need these blueprints. So how many shards is that going to cost? Well, uh, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my actual sheet where I've already done all this now. Oops. Ignore that. Da 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 da. Here we go. You see I have all the swords. There's some colors here. which I'll get to in a bit, but I have all those swords I just wrote in all those tiers here. And this is what I did. These are just labels right here for 1 through 10. I put 0 for 10 just so it's only one character. And how many blueprints. So this is a count if function. So as I talked about in my last video, if you're familiar with Excel, you start any formula with an equal sign. That's how Excel knows it's an equal sign, and we're doing a count if. And it tells you what you want for a count if, the criteria and the range. So the range is where we're counting, and the criteria is what we're counting. So from A2 to A18, so we're counting in this blue box here. That's the range. The criteria is 1. So we're counting all the ones in that range. And there's only one 1 in that range, so we get a 1 here. If the arming sword was also a 1, then there'd be 2, right? And then there'd be 0 2s. But I've got it all here. You can see there's 1 1, 1 2, 3 3s, 1 4, 3 5s, 2 6s, 1 7, 3 8s, and 2 9s. And to ascend all of that is going to cost us 1,140 Ascension shards. Okay? So how do we know that? It's an annoying formula, and it might look complicated because a secret to Excel and programming in general is it is easier to write this than it is to read it. I wrote this and I can't even read what's going on here. But what I've done is I've gone through, and I remember we said that these tier 1s take 5 Ascension shards. Well, there's 3 stages. So 5 Ascension shards times 3 stages is 15 to get the 3 stars we need for this one. So here we have B20, that's this cell that tells us how many tier 1s there are, times 15, because that's how many Ascension shards it takes to ascend one of these tier 1s. And then we do the same thing. B21, the tier 2s also take 5 Ascension shards. So we are taking this one tier 2 we have, and we're multiplying it by 15, because it's going to take 15 Ascension shards. Now the price goes up to 10 Ascension shards per star for tier 3. So we have 3 tier 3s, that's this B22 here, and we're multiplying that by 30 because it's 30 Ascension shards. And we just go through and we do that. 45 for the tier 4s, 60 for the tier 5s, and we go up and up and up and up, all the way to a tier 10 takes 135. So that's why I was saying, going back to Shop Titans here, let's say, this isn't a realistic example, but let's say you were going to have to ascend a tier 10 light footwear, but you bought this 3 instead. Well, now instead of spending this 135, you're spending this 30. So you save 105 Ascension shards. So that's why I say it's worth it to wait. Now, I've done that for all these. Now, the color coding, this is my personal collection, so you're going to have to color code yours different if you want to do this. The greens are blueprints I have. So I have all of these. I don't have the Zweelander, so that's still white. Some of these are yellow. Those are ones I've already ascended. So for daggers, if we go to daggers, I've ascended up to 27 because that gave me a quality chance that I like, because I like to make some tier 6 daggers for the sigils. So I put them up to 27, and I did that with a few different branches. And some of them, right, the important ones in my opinion are the surcharge energy cost, which costs 15, and then there's multi-chance, quality, and then you get the surcharge for specific and the surcharge to all items. I think those are the important milestones. And so some of these I did little milestones on. So these are all ascended, so I made them yellow to mark they're already ascended. And importantly, I deleted the tier here. Now obviously these all still have tiers, but remember how this count if function works? This is looking for all the tier 1s, but I've deleted the tier 1 off the shiv. So it says there's 0 tier 1s, even though there are tier 1s, but it can't find it. So if we look, it's only costing 780 for me personally, based on what I've already ascended, to finish ascending the daggers to Titan. So, right, because I've already spent like 400 or so on these yellows. And I'm still missing the Cloudwalker, Chakram, and the Sultan Dagger to do it as efficiently as possible. Once I get those 2 blueprints, then I'll just go ahead and ascend the rest. And so you can kind of see what I've got going on everywhere. And also, this is my sheet, so some of these, like the helmet, is not here because I've already tightened that. So these are all the ones that I have not tightened, and it's everything that I have left to do. So you can see how many blueprints I have, and it's a lot. And some of these, like the bow, there's 2 tier 10s right now in the game. No matter if you have every single blueprint, you still need to ascend 2 tier 10s. So I don't think that's worth it. So I'm going to wait for some more sets to come out. And so let's say a new set comes out. Let's say they release, I don't know, the quick bow or something, and it's a tier 6. So what you would do here is you would delete one of these tier 10s, and then you could just Control X and Control V to move those down. And now there's a new tier 6 that came out in a pack, and it's the quick bow. And look, it updates for you, right? So we go back. It was 855, but if the quick bow that I just made up gets introduced, then we're only 795 to ascend that. So you can kind of update it as the game progresses. And so I would not do the bows right now. Some lines, the are cheaper than others. You can kind of look here. You have to ignore these because that's ones I've already got stuff ascended on. Generally, the wand, the crossbows, and the guns are cheaper because you need fewer. Swords aren't bad. Daggers aren't bad, even though some are gone here. Daggers aren't bad. Some, I think the clothes and the bow are the worst right now. Oh, and leather armor. But you can analyze all that yourself after you make one of these if you want to. These numbers are 10s because the 10 can't fit because I made the row so narrow, but that's not important. So you sum all these up. I need 1140 Ascension shards to get the Sword Titan. I need 780 Ascension shards to get the Dagger Titan. I need 1260 Ascension shards to get the Spear Titan. All right, and I showed you how to do the one. You just do that for all these. And then you come over here, and I've summed these all up. So I add up all the Ascension shards I need, and I am 18,555 Ascension shards away from tightening every line. And that's why I said you shouldn't rush. You should use your Ascension shards as efficiently as you possibly can, because it is going to take a while. For the record, I've been playing this game since about 3 months after release, pretty consistently. I don't buy gems or gem open chests or anything like that. I do have Royal Merchant and the Workers, but that's it. So I'm about halfway there after almost 2 years, or maybe a little more than 2 years at this point. I kind of forget. So it's going to take a while. So there's going to be plenty of King's Caprice where you can buy all these cheap blueprints. And plus, new blueprints are going to come out, and then you're going to wait 6 months. They're going to show up in the King's Caprice shop. All right, you got time. That's my point. But how much time? That's the next question. So, yeah, it's going to take a crap ton. There's a few ways you can kind of figure this out. The first hypothetical I'm going to answer is, how many gems would it take to get this many shards? Well, that one's really easy. I'm actually not even going to use another sheet for it. You're going to have to, oops, bear with me for 1 second. All right. This is how much shards you get per 1,000 gems spent when you're gem opening chests. Bleak Spire isn't on here yet, but the golden chests are going to be the most efficient at 34. So you need to spend 1,000 gems to get a 34.5 shards. So if you were going to try to gem all these, you need to do the 34.5 757 times. So you need 757,000 gems to open all these Ascension shards. All right. That's not possible for mortals like me. So that's kind of out of the question. You do accrue them very, very slowly over time. So that's what we're going to talk about now. Let me pull up. Sorry, I've got some references over here. Why isn't this? Okay. So, how do we get Ascension Shards? Well, there's chests and there's events. So you get one event, one of each event each month. If you have Royal Merchant, I'm assuming you have Royal Merchant. If you don't, then you just kind of like half it. Um, you get 150, around 150 on average with Royal Merchant Ascension Shards per event. So that's 600 a month if you complete, or I'm sorry, it's 450 a month if you complete every event. All right, what about keys? So you do get some keys from opening or from normal missions, right? There's a very low, we don't know exactly what it is. It might be 0.5%, it might be as much as 2% chance of getting a key from a random mission. But mostly it's going to be from bosses. So if assuming you clear all the bosses, right? We have Howling Woods, Aurora Caves, Whispering Bog, Barren Wastes, Sun God's Tomb, Chronos Runes, Haunted Castle, Sunken Temple, and Bleak Spire. Okay. Now, how often can you clear each of these? So we're doing per month. I'm going to put events here. And I think this is going to be monthly Ascension Shards. I can move it later. We know we get 450 from the events. Okay. Haunting Woods, you can do once per 24 hours. Or Caves once per 30 hours, 36 hours, 42 hours, 52 hours, 92 hours, 120 hours, 140 hours. I'm not sure on Bleak Spire. You might have to correct this if you do it yourself. I think it's 160, but I'm not sure. So that's how many times you can do it per hours. How many hours are in a month? Well, there's about 30 days times 24 hours. So you can do Haunted Woods 30 times in a month. And you know what? I do need to move this over. Whenever you get these decimals, you can always get rid of them over here because I don't really like them. Okay. And you know what? These monthly, that's actually going to be like way over there. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, this is how many times you can do that. Now, the chance to get a key is 50% at hard difficulty. So assuming you're doing these at hard, it's that times 5, or 0.5. This is how many keys you're going to get per month. And, okay, so this is times a month. This is key a month. And this is going to be Ascension Shards per key. So, going back to the other reference I had, we get 4 there, 6 there, 9 there, 14, 25, 32, 35, 45, and I think it's 55. So Ascension Shards per month is going to be the Ascension Shards we get per key times, wait, that's not right. No, okay, sorry. We need one more thing in here, which is the chance to get Ascension Shards. Now, I believe chest. I believe it's 2% for everything except for maybe this is 1.8. No, this is 1.9, and I think everything else is 2 for some random reason. Yeah, 2, 2, yeah. So when you're doing the keys, rather than gemming, there are 4 chances to do it. So the odds that you get Ascension Charges, one's your 4 chances, is going to be equals, we're doing a formula, 1 minus the chance of getting no Ascension Shards. So the chance of getting no Ascension Shards is 0.98 raised to the 4. So there's a 7% chance of getting Ascension Shards, except for whatever reason, this is 0.81 instead of 0.8. Okay, so it's slightly different. So this is the chance of Ascension shards. Okay. Now Ascension shards a month. Okay, here we go. It's the number of Ascension shards you get per key times the chance that you get Ascension shards per key times the number of keys you get per month. There we go. So if you do all the bosses, you're getting this many Ascension shards per month from those. So, oh, the event, okay. And 450 from the events. Now, here's the deal. This is going to be so heavily dependent on your roster. What I do is I run about 10 Bleak Spire quests per day, or a little more than that, right? So I'm actually getting a lot more keys per month. And in fact, I'm getting about 30 keys a month with the way I'm doing it. And so I'm getting closer to this, okay? Now there are other things you can factor in as well. There are other sources of Ascension shards, right? You have gifts from your guildmates. You have grab bags. You have the whatever that store is called, the daily store that you reroll. Daily store, the fortunes uh, zone store. Um, there may be other Ascension shard sources I'm blanking on, and so I don't know, right? You're gonna have to kind of figure that out. I think it's gonna depend on like how much you're helping, how many bounties you're doing for grab bags, and also we don't really know the rate. I think based on what I've seen, I think the rate's like about 2%. Um, so you're gonna get some, probably not a lot. I don't know, maybe you'll get 50 even seems a little high. Maybe you'll get 40 a month from gifts. Maybe you'll get, I don't know, 50 a month. The daily store, have no idea what the odds are. I'm completely making something up here. Maybe you get 100 a month, right? So these are all just completely making up. So add all that up. How many Ascension shards we getting per month? About 800. 834 is my guess. Now this is going to change as like new quests and stuff come out. Um, But, so how long is it going to take to get all these shards? Well, it's equal to how many I need, which is this 1855, divided by this estimated 834 I'm getting. It's going to take 22 months to get all those Ascension shards. All right, now that's going to go down a bit, because like I said, right, there's going to be new blueprints that are going to like replace these 10s, and they might be like tier 6s and stuff. Also, new dungeons might come out that might be more efficient at getting Ascension shards. There's some right like new thing coming out here in a week or so. But my point is, you have plenty of time, right? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. 49 different, things that I need. Oh, I actually got those. 48 things that I need out of the Capri shop, but I've got nearly 2 years to get them all, so there's not really a rush. And plus, they'll just like release random things here and there that I might be able to get, like these archivist classes. So I would not be in a rush. It's going to take you a long time to tighten everything, and you can figure out exactly how much that is. And if you don't want to tighten anything, right, if say you want to surcharge everything, get the 15 stars, you would do the same thing, except for you only need 5 of each blueprint instead of 17. So I hope that that made sense and was informative. If there's any questions anyone has or comments on how I could do this better, maybe if I'm going too fast, going too slow, leave all that in the comments section. Welcome feedback. Yeah, and thank you for watching.